Hey, what's up, everyone? Thames Trades here. So what I'm gonna do is this is the first time that I'm ever recording, and I'm going to try to take a trade here on the worst day to try to take a trade, which sounds bad, but realistically, we're gonna do it with some discipline. So first things first is right now we're in like a chop range, um, being that we had a massive move to the upside yesterday, and right now we're just kind of essentially slowly going up, but it's like a choppy up. So from an hourly chart perspective, it looks like we're going up, but really we are going up, but we're wicking up and down on the way up. That's not really a clean move. So on like a 5 minute right, you can kind of see here that, you know, we had this drop here around 6 a.m. during that London session, and then we kind of, rode on this moving average line here. I believe this is the moving average. Yeah, 21, the 21-day moving average. We kind of moved up and down on this moving average, broke out up here, tapped into VWAP, came back down below that moving average, hit VWAP, and now we've just kind of been riding, and we're really trying to get over this 55.25 high. So before I really take a trade, I mean, there's a couple things that I can look for here, being that we're in this chop range and we're not getting like a clean move like we did yesterday. And I'll just go over that real quick. So yesterday, you can see was the 24th. This was around 7 a.m. And here, right up into open, we had a nice move up, right? And as soon as we opened at 9:30, it's pretty much right when we opened here. I'll just reset the whole chart. But right when we opened, we had a nice little dip down below that moving average about 5 minutes in, some sellers stepping in. And then instantly, as soon as we hit this level right here, this 50, what is that, like 53.98, 5400 level, right? As soon as we hit like that 53.98 area, I would say there's like a shelf right there. If you can kind of see that, I'll just mark it out. But there's like this shelf right here. And then above that shelf, you have this shelf. And it's like right, I would just say right here where that wick is, right? So you got this shelf here. We didn't really touch this. And then right here, you have this shelf where you've got these top wicks. Right here, this little area of support. And then this little area of support right here, where these order blocks are. So we tapped right into that, and then we just shot straight up all day long from 9:30 all the way until 10:36 right here. Had some up and down movements on that moving average, kind of chopped up and down. Really gave area of interest for entries here. If you didn't catch that initial move up, you could have gotten on the entry here and then rode that up all day to these highs. I think we ended up getting up to like 55.40 or 55.50 towards the end of the day there. This is a 2 minute chart, but anyways, just wanted to talk about that specific move that happened yesterday. And then now we're really in that same area that we closed at in New York, from New York open to close. Right here, we had the Google earnings, this huge wick right here. I was in a long around this area, which was kind of scary because we came down here and I thought we were going to lose this low. And then, thankfully we pushed right back up. And then right before close, I actually got out of the trade, and the Google ER sent this right here from 55.20 all the way up into 55.40 from that Google ER. So anyways, we're still in that range, as you can see here, right? If I mark this out, let's see here. Here's kind of this range from yesterday. If you look at it, right? So we're still kind of consolidating in this area. And really, there's not really a best way to kind of mark this out, but you can kind of see that we're just chopping, right? The initial move happened yesterday. We got that move after Google ER pushed up a little bit higher, took out some of the highs that I did expect us to take out already. I mean, even just on a 4-hour chart, if you take a look, here's that Google ER. And then we already came over and we took out these highs over here, this 55.28 that I did want to take out. And then we also took out we almost took out these highs over here, this 55.58 and the 55.64, these wicks right here from April 2nd. So now you can kind of see where really just sitting here. I mean, we triggered 2 up on the day on ES, but we're just chopping around. So with that being said, now that I gave you a long-winded explanation there, really what I'm looking for is to kind of get out of this range, and I want to test these highs up here, whether it's even cracking out of this 25 level and grabbing 10 points up to 55.36, or cracking below VWAP here, and a VWAP's at this 55.10, and testing these lows down here that we bounced off of here. We got this double bottom here, right? If you look, 6 a.m. we hit that, or 7 a.m. right here, we hit that, made that bottom right here, and we bounced off that 54.86. And you can see, like, if you look at, this is London session, you can look at the New York session right here. This was a low on the New York session towards the end of the day that was made, where we had an area of a bounce, right? Or not really a bounce, but an area of support is really what I'm getting at, where price came down there and it reacted right off of it and pushed back up. And that's essentially the same thing that happened here off of this London session. Price came down and then we bounced right back off of that area of support. And then as soon as we bounced, we kind of just chopped here, came up to test these this 55.19 high, 55.25, which was the area of interest yesterday. And then now it looks like we're cracking here to go back up and test these highs. So we could test these highs and break 55.25 and trade up to 55.36 if we get a nice closure and confirmation above this level. Or we could see resistance here at the top if there's sellers up here, and we could ride this back down to VWAP or ride this back down to these lows. So really there's a few different trades I see here. Catch the short off of this resistance, catch a long off of this support resistance flip, 10 points, or come down if we miss entry and see if we test these lows. If we test these lows and break these lows, then we can trade this 54.86.85 level all the way down to 54.70. So there's a few areas that we can play here, and the biggest thing is to just keep this as simple as possible. Even myself, I always overcomplicate trading sometimes, but really it's just level to level, and I'm not speaking holistically to trading, but I'm saying from a futures perspective and capturing points, just trade level to level. I mean, there's areas that are respected very well. Knock talks about the ADR levels, order block 50%. You have Asia highs, Asia lows, London highs, London lows. Like, those are all areas of interest that are respected. So let's just see what happens here. Looks like we're going to retest these highs, and we'll see. Now, I am trading ES. I'm trading one ES mini, which people might say I'm crazy, but it is kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens right here. We got RSI creeping up here at the 67, 68 level. So these are kind of areas where I'm saying, okay, there's a lot of people buying. There potentially could be a pullback because this is essentially overbought. So I'd like to see a nice confirmation here that this level will be disrespected again if I'm looking to short this. Generally, I don't want to short because ES has been very bullish, but We're going to see what's happened. So we never got a 30-second candle close above this level, and we just did. So that this could trade all the way up to 36. So let's see what happens with this 30-second candle here. If we get a closure on this 30-second candle, I'll take a long and put my stop below this 17 level. Is what I'm thinking. Something like this.
Order filled.
All right. Let's take a long here. We'll try to take that, put our stops about here. Actually, around there. Now, I am going to move this to break even as soon as I can. Just because I want to lock in profits. So, I'm still a newbie, but I'm going to do that now. Might get stopped out here.
Order filled.
Yep, stopped out. All right, minus $2 there. I probably could have been a bit more aggressive with my stop and made it wider given the moves that we get. But let's just see how this reacts here. It looks like we've got, I mean, we're just in a chop area. So if we tap back down to this level and bounce off of it, then I'll go for another long. But only down 2 here. I mean, I might have just got wicked out there on that, and we might just push all the way up to this target here that I have. So let's see. But this is, I mean, keep in mind this RSI is high in this 70 area, which we have this huge 2-minute order block right here. So considering that we have this there it goes, of course. Oh, it's all right. No big deal. Not gonna chase. Let's just see what happens here. You got a 5-minute order block right here. So this is, you know, a fair value gap we have right here. We could retrace into this fair value gap from a Fibonacci perspective. I can take the low of the body and the high of the body. Oh, that fib is terrible. And I can look at going in around this 55.24 level, or 55.25 would be an area of interest for me. I want to get long again. So let's see, we got some rejection there. See if we bounce off of this. Come on. This is the first time. I mean, we have this high right here too. Like, you know, this huge wick. This, you know, we take that liquidity out. That's easy liquidity to be taken out, which is another reason why I think this is a valid play. But I want to retrace here, or else I'm not going to take this trade. And the reason that I'm saying that is because, you know, some people might just say, oh, get in it before it goes to its target. But for me, if I get in right here, right, then that means I don't have a good area to put a stop in. So there's a couple of different ways. Like, my strategy consists of taking trades off of the moving average cross, or taking trades off of a level confirmation break. So for me, I don't want to get in up here. My ideal entry is to get in down here as soon as we crack that level. And then if we break this level, then I can see price going way below. But if I get in way above this level, then my stop's not going to be as wide as I want it to be. meaning that I have a lower probability of the trade working out. Even though I did move my stop to break even, but that's still a good practice is to move that to break even so you're not, you know, so you're not losing money if the trade goes the opposite direction, and you're also, you know, protecting yourself or locking in profits once you move above break even. So let's see what this does. Yeah. See where we go. I think we're probably going to tap 36. That's what it's looking like. We just broke out of this. And sometimes this is how it goes, man. Sometimes you get in a trade and just get stopped. You gotta be patient. See if we get a nice. I want to close a candle around here, on this area. If we crack this level, though, I mean, this could be a short. Always inviting me to play Fortnite. I don't want to play Fortnite. We could short this all the way down to here, 55.21 or anywhere within this range, right? As we have a 5-minute order block, 5-minute fair value gap. That's one of the ways that I look at this. Just gonna pull up my trading view and see on this 5-minute chart. Yeah, so we actually also just broke. If you trade orb strategy, we just broke the 15-minute high on the orb. And essentially our first target would be 55, 36, 37 off of here. Let's see where we go from here. I'd like to get a long up to 55, 36 if we can.
Order filled.
All right, I'm gonna take this long here again. Just to 35. Risking 400, or not risking 400, risking 287 here to make 400. This is where you have to be patient. Let's see what happens. I got in that a little too early. I wanted to get in around this area. As soon as we break this high here, I'll trail my stop up. But the thing is price retraces so fast that I have to be careful, or else I get instantly stopped out. Oh, I'm still not the best at that, but let's just see where this goes. I mean, the trade I took yesterday took 25 minutes for me to get out of, so now we just wait. And really, the first target off of this orb high, like I said, is 55.37 if you trade the orb strategy, and that's right here if you look. So you've got your high, your low, and then here's your first target off of that high break is this 55.37. If we break that, then we probably take our next high level would be up here somewhere. So let's see how it goes. And I mentioned in the chat some levels. 55, 15, 25, 30. So above this 30, 35, if we get there, the next level would be 55, 54 or so around there. Well, let's just see. And knock already did it. Dude, this guy's killing it. Oh my gosh, brother, you're a beast. 379. Trailed that stop up. His target's at that 431. And you catch those moves so good and so quick. Props to him, man. I could make my life a lot easier if I could catch these moves a lot quicker. Which, I'm still working on that. Man. Come on, ES. Need this to push. If we get stopped out of this, we're still positive on our balance. 328 we made yesterday. Um, 5 trades, 332 whatever broker fees, and then I made one trade here. That was that one I got stopped out on. So we're risking some of our profits here, but I'm gonna go ahead and move this stop up. Less risk. Now that we're breaking above this level, we got this candle closure body above this high here. So now I'm looking to push up, and I just want to take out that liquidity. I mean, this is levels. This is a huge liquidity wick. Or I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but for me, I'm going to call it a liquidity wick, right? Take out this area. All right, we're up 150. Let's see what we can do. Come on, baby. I'm going to lock in some profits here on this high. $100. For Top Step, we want $200 for a winning day is what they call it. Even if you want to make 200. So I'm gonna trail this up. Keep pushing. Come on, yes. I'm not locking this yet. I need it to close. I need to get closure. 30-second closure. Come on. Push. Sorry if I'm loud. Damn it. It's rejecting. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. Shit. Whoops. We want it to bounce off of this area. I just totally broke my ruler. I moved that up and then accidentally closed it. I know this wants to go. All right. I'm leaving it until I get nice confirmation above this level. So we got our 1 minute candle here closed. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on. Just take out that level. I mean, I don't want to be greedy here either. I think as soon as we get in that 200 area, if we get there again, I'm going to just close this out. Ah, fuck. See what happens here. I'm trying to be careful at the same time because this is so choppy. This level break should have just been a clean move, but it's like choppy. See these like choppy wicks? It's hard to really manage a stop when we're gonna sit here and chop. I need my stop to be in the right area. Come on, push back up. Push back up. All right, I'm moving my take profit here to like right here. that 312 area. Just because we're so choppy. Come on. I need this to break this trend line. Come on, push. Oh my goodness. Come on, yes. Why is it rejecting that so hard? It's just really choppy there. Come on, yes. Go. Is there a lot of sellers up there? 110 short? Gosh. Bro, what the fuck? Patience, my friends, patience. We can also look at this trend line here. We haven't bounced off of the bottom of this. So I like to break over this and not cross below this trend line. MA21 there. I could get, if we crack this, I could get stopped out. Just want to get that 200 mark. Go, yes. You got this. Come on. Push. I'm gonna trail this. Trailing it.
Order filled.
All right, so a few things on that trade. Number one, the first entry I had was at the crack of this level around here. And then I think I had my stop essentially right here. I move it to break even and I got wicked out, as you can see, right? I got wicked out around there. Secondly, I told myself, right? Hey, even though I got wicked out, I'm not going to FOMO about the trade and try to get in up here. And the reason I didn't try to get in up here because I knew that since we were getting some sellers around here, right? We were seeing some selling happening. See all these wicks pushing price down. And I knew that essentially, I didn't really know, but I had a good idea that we were going to get a retrace at least to come back down and test that level that we broke, right? That area of interest. As this is number one, a 5-minute fair value gap, right? Right here is a 5-minute fair value gap. This is a huge order block off of this levels that we've been testing all morning, right? Literally bounce, or not bounce, sorry. Bottom, right? Boom. Resistance, sellers pushing down, selling, push it down, up, push it down, same area, push it down, boom. And then here we made a double bottom off of that London low. Came back up, tested VWAP, boom, came back up, crossed that moving average. And then we went and tested that 55.20 high again. We broke that 55.20 high, right? There's a huge 5-minute, not a huge, but a pretty massive 5-minute order block of about 7 points. And here we go, we're pushing higher here. But so then right there, right, as soon as we break that level, we got in on that entry. And then we got stopped out at break even. And then we came back down to test an area of this order block at fair value gap. And it looks like just based off of placing my fib from the candle body here to sorry, someone was here. Anyways, oh, look at price going where I wanted it to go. Damn it, man. Don't FOMO. It's all right. We had a good trade. 256 bucks, bro. I'm happy with that. You know, you got to be happy with the profits you make. So anyways, we had that retrace. I got back in there, right? Now, some things I did do where I broke a little bit of my rules, and the reason being because of the chop, all these wicks, right? It's just so choppy right here. It's not really like clean candles. Is I moved my take profit to my stops around. Now, my stop initially, I had it around a level, I think it was somewhere around down here or so, or right below this 0.786 level, that 21 area. And from there, I moved it up, and then I trailed it positive, and then I accidentally closed it out, and then I moved it back out into a negative area because I didn't want to ruin the entry that I originally had. So I was willing to put risk back on the table. So from there, as soon as I put it down there, then I saw that, okay, you know, we're not going to break this shelf here that we tested, right? If you look right here, there's this shelf in this area that once we broke it, these candles tested that shelf, right? And then it pushed back up. So then right there, I trailed my stop back up. Initial target here is like this 55, 36, 37 level. You know, I know that I need to lock in at least 200 for a successful day. And that's what we did. We moved our, trailed our stop up to that, you know, locking that 200 plus profit. And we got wicked out, I think around here or so. And really, you know, that's the goal, man. You know, I'm not really too concerned about trying to make a massive bag. Do I want to? Yes, but there's opportunities all over the table. And on a day like today where it's really choppy and wicky and price can't really make a decision, I don't really want to play around too much with it or try to catch large intraday moves, because really the large intraday move happened yesterday. And that's the reality. The large intraday move happened yesterday. You see it right here. That was that large move. And then now we're just consolidating. This consolidation can turn into a larger move. Or we could just consolidate all day and it would make a move, you know, on Sunday or Monday. But realistically, like, price is going to go up or down here. This consolidation is essentially telling us right now that price is going to go up just because of this high that we broke. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying since we broke this high here after chopping in this range, the idea is that, okay, price is making the decision to go higher. So with that being said, beautiful trade team. And right there, you know, here's an example. Let me keep that on there. Is we broke above this high that I mentioned, came up, we almost tapped that 36 level, and then we rejected. So this is another area of, like, I don't really trade with the orb, but I like to use it as a level of confluence. Is we went up and almost tested this and rejected, and now we're coming back down to this orb high. And we could bounce off of this orb high here and come back up to try to retest, or not retest, but test the 37 level that we never touched. Or this could completely dump back down. And that's what it's doing. Look at that short. Oh my gosh. While I was talking, that was another short we could have took. It was like, I could have said, hey, if we resist off this level, then let's go ahead and take a short. Now, the thing to think about with this short is this doesn't mean that, oh shit, since price went straight down, I should short now. We have a 5-minute fair value gap down here. So essentially that price just took off And now the question is, will price respect this is area, right? This area of buying, right? Essentially, there should be buyers down here. There should be a bunch of buy orders in this area. And now what's going to happen is price is going to essentially tap into here, as like this wick did, and buy orders are going to get filled. And then as long as bullish, bullish order flow is respected, then price is going to push back up and probably take out this 37 level up to this 44 and higher if it wants to just keep going. But essentially the goal is to take out this 36, 37 high here and then see where we go from there on the levels that I mentioned. And Knock mentioned some good levels as well. So it's all really kind of the same areas. But now you can see that this fair value gap is being respected. And that's a prime example of, oh, don't instantly get short just because you see a big sell-off that happened, right? We broke this trend line, tapped down into that 5-minute fair value gap, wicked right off of that level. Look at that, how well that was respected. That 55.25 level, we didn't wick off of it, but like we had this order, these buy orders fill right off of it and push back up to this 21 moving average. And then now the question is, will we cross off of this 21 moving average? So even if you missed the entry in that fair value gap, another trade here could be, if you look at this trend, so we got the 21 moving average, fair value gap bounce, 25 level respected, and then now we have this trend line break that can potentially happen. But this is so volatile right now, like it's almost like they don't want price to go up. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, this, just because this price is coming down now doesn't mean that we get short here, because we know this level was respected and this is a huge fair value gap. So essentially a lot of the times what you can see in these fair value gaps is we got a wick in the middle of it, but you can always, price can always come down, right? And wick the very bottom, as long as we don't get a body close below that fair value gap, and then it can push right back up. But if the body closes below this fair value gap and that fair value gap is wiped out, then essentially that trade is invalid. So, but you can see this is actually being respected here. Let's see what happens. And we're getting that candle closure above this trend line. So we could take a trade off of this too. This is another, strategy to take a trade off of this trend line break, this bull flag break, right, on this 21 moving average, and trade it up to this 35, 36 level. That could be a good trade. I want to take it, but I already locked in my profits. Let's just see what happens. So it would be an idea to enter now off this trade right here. We'll break this trend line and this 21 moving average level. And these are just small zone trades. I want to get in here off this 30, 29, 30 level, and then take out these 35s. And if you want to go any higher than that, then you just trail your stop with your profits. And if you cross over that 35 and say it pushes to 40, then you'd move your stop to this 36, 35 level, because it should be respected. And that's really simple as that. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. The idea is to get in around here, and take out that 35, 36 level. Because you got to think, on one mini, that 6 points is 7 points, $50 per point. So that's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of money. A couple $100 and a few points. You don't even need large moves to make good money with a mini. That's one of the reasons I like the minis, is because you don't need large moves to make good money with them, but you have a tighter stop essentially with a mini because you're risking more versus a micro. You can trade 5 micros, which is half of a mini, and you can have a larger risk, I guess you could say. You can handle larger intraday moves with 5 micros versus 1 mini. But I've always traded with 1 mini, so that's what I'm used to. I've traded with micros too. I like them both. but I just like the idea of a mini because it's really quick. You know, I can make the trade quick. Not really about making the money. I mean, we want to make the money, but the idea is to make the trade, have a successful trade, and then the money comes with it. So I don't know what's gonna happen here. This might just chop around. I don't know. So far, it looks like that 5-minute fair value gap was respected. I'm looking at this on the TopStepX dashboard, which is pretty slick, but I also like to look at it here on this trading view chart because trading view is sick. But here on trading view, if we look at our fair value gaps, you can see how well that was respected, right? So there's our fair value gap right there. We came up to test that. Did we already test it? Wait, where's my orb? Why is my orb not working? My orb broken? Oh, that's weird. On the lower time frame, it's not working. But you can see here that on this orb high and low, we tested that area, and now we're pushing up here. 33. The idea is that this first target, this 37 level, and then you'll see once we tap this 37 level, it's going to essentially set our next target, which from 37, I'm going to guess it's in the 50s, the 45s to 55s probably. But then again, you know, we could chop around this area. I mean, we have this pivot point there. This pivot point here, 55, 48, 83. Our open week is 55, 29, I believe, for the week. I think we opened around there. And basically what that's saying. Tuesday, Monday. So yeah, it's probably, I don't feel like going through the stuff right now. I can look at another chart, but let's just see what happens here. Very interested to see what happens. Because this is another, like I said, man, we rejected that. We came back down and tested an orb high here. We tested an orb high. And also, aside from an orb high, we also tested that level that we had marked out, 55.25 level, and we bounced right off of it, right? So from there, what are we gonna do? Gonna come up and try to take out that liquidity that we were looking at, which is over here. I mean, I want to see that 41 wick taken out. We always know price goes to areas of liquidity, right? So I want to see that taken out. That's what I would like to see. I click around a lot, so just ignore that. Come on. Take that area out. All right, we had a breaker structure here. At 1 minute candle close. And this is saying if we get this, the indicator is saying a breaker structure essentially. But you can see these other areas as breaker structures. We chopped here, broke that structure, pushed up. Breaker structures are great tools to use. Not great tools, or great, it's a great confluence to use. Because you're shifting the behavior of price. Come on, just tap that level. I just want to see it so I can end this recording. It's being stubborn. Why even be stubborn here? Like, doesn't it just make more sense to just go up here and take this out and then figure out what you want to do from there? Why even make it hard? Just take out the level. I mean, clearly it's not that simple, but I mean, we're not overbought in RSI, so we know there's not too many buyers, and we know bullish order flow was respected. It's just a matter of patience, really. This could retrace and then go up, or it could go straight up, or it could retrace and test new lows and then go up. And there's a million different things this could do before it even goes down. And the last thing I want to do is short this. I mean, look at this. This is such a beautiful move, actually. That's a gorgeous move. I mean, you wait all day, right? In the morning, you want to take a trade. And in this morning, you could have taken a trade, right? You could have traded these ranges. And then as soon as we hit around 10:30, we hit that chop, right? And then boom, we came up, reclaimed that VWAP level, and just took off. And that's the beauty of this. Is that is such a clean move, man. Right there. I mean, look at that. It's a beautiful move. Just boom. Well, now on a lower time frame, right? You got a lot of wicks and stuff, but this right here, compared to all this, I mean, and even this, I didn't even want to trade this morning. Even though that's an easy short right there. Easy is a terrible word to use. Nothing about this is easy, but even though that looks easy, right? It's not easy, and it's not an ideal thing that I want to be in, because I do like shorting, but not when price is going the way it is right now. I want to be in longs. Knock caught him a nice move. Check that out, dude. Gosh. 5 MNQ micros off of this level here. VWAP, I don't know if that's VWAP. I don't think that's VWAP. That's a moving average, I think. That broke, that he traded off of. And then just, the shit just took off. Trailed his stop. And locked in a nice $817 with 5 micros. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Congratulations to my dude, Mr. Knock Knock. Knock knock, give me your money. That's what he be telling the market. Knock knock, pay up. Pay up, market. Knocking at your door. Oh, here we go. There's the move. Beautiful. It happened. All right. I'm happy. So ideally, that was the idea, right? Is we get to tap that 30. Did we tap 37? Okay. We wicked off 37. So now the question is, do we break this 37.50, 37 level? By break it, I mean candle body close over the level, right at the level, to see if we push higher. Because essentially right now, this level is considered resistance. So if we break the level and get a candle closure above, then that's a support resistance flip. This becomes support, and then anything above it is resistance. If that support breaks, we go below. Now, also, one thing to look out here for is we have this break of structure right here that could happen, right? Now, I have an indicator on this because I don't want to mark out every single break of structure, but this is an area where price can be respected or completely disrespected. Now, considering we just got a candle closure below that break of structure and we didn't break over that 55.37.50 level here, price can come back down because there was rejection. Now, the thing is on a smaller time frame, if you look at this, it looks like, oh, cool, I can trade catch a trade in here. You can catch a trade in here, right? We still have this fair value gap down here, this area of support, I would say, that was respected, which then pushed price up to that 55.37 level that couldn't be accomplished earlier. So now we can look for price to come back down here, test that fair value gap. If there's any orders there, we can look for price to respect this moving average. We can also look for price to respect this open week area of 55.29, or you can see this break of structure. If this break of structure is disrespected, since we got a candle closure below it, then now you can see if price will push higher. So there's a lot of different areas and different ways that we can look at this. And I've only been trading for a little over like a year or so, so I don't know a lot, but those are just things that I look for, things that I think about. So and some people say, you know, if you're trading, you know, quick intraday trades on smaller time frames, you don't need to worry about higher time frames. But I think looking at higher time frames give you an understanding of where price is, what the behavior might be like in zones and areas of interest, right? Of, you know, where price can go, where support is, where resistance is, where liquidity is, things like that, where you know, buy orders are, where shorts might be. Because if I look on a 5-minute chart here, look at this. I mean, this is the trade that we essentially caught earlier. It came up and then we just chopped, came down, pushed back up here. I mean, there's just liquidity here. People are getting liquidated, right? Look at that. Look at that wick. I mean, that wick is huge. That means that there's sellers up here. People are pushing this price down in this area. So essentially, you could say until we break above this level, right? If we take I already have my tool here. I don't know why I'm looking over there. But until we break through, like here, essentially, then you can see sellers. Now we're cracking through that 37.50. So now you can see that as soon as we break over this one level, that 2 is going to pop up. I don't know if it's going to show it. Just got to generate the orb. Oh man, come on! Why is it throwing the fit? Update the latest version. All right, there's a little bug. All right, so let's crack this one level real quick so I can mark out. So right here, 55.50 is what it's saying. 55.50. Right here. So that's essentially our next target off of this orb high. Second 50% level. So 55.50 off of is what the orb is telling us. And then the level we have here, this is just from looking at zones of interest and Mancini levels, and also confluence from knock, is 55.47 could be that next level we take here since we break this. And let's see where price goes. And this is another trade I could be taking, but it's like one of those things where prices push so high and we're getting so many wicks. I don't really want to touch this, especially after seeing this right here come up here, and in a matter of a minute or two, price dropped what, 10 points in a matter of a minute or two. So it could happen up here too. This could be a strong area of resistance. An ideal trade for me is, number one, this is beautiful that we're pushing here, is once we take out this liquidity, if we resist off of this liquidity, could short if we get resistance here. I don't want to short though. I don't think that's smart considering how strong this is. So I would not short, but it's a thought that crosses my mind. And then also this pivot point And then this second level here. Those are areas of resistance you can look for. This ADR level we can look at is basically based off of the average daily range calculations, is price can push all the way up to 5,600. So the technically price could push up another 70 or 60 points from here. Now that we broke out, we just have to wait and see what happens. Anyways, I've been talking too long. I'm gonna end this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. So